Mingalaba, everyone. Welcome to my webinar about luxury travel in Myanmar. Thank you very much for joining me this morning or afternoon, whatever time it might be for you. It's 2:30 p.m. here in Yangon. My name is Amir. I'm the product manager here at LUXE Myanmar. My team's responsibility, along with our LUXE team, to develop lots of great LUXE experiences for your clients. And today, my purpose during this webinar is to basically provide you with an overview of various LUXE options that we have available here in Myanmar. Myanmar might not generally be considered, as a luxury destination by most clients. What I'm here to do today is give you a bit of an outline of the options that we have. But of course, LUXE by EXO is all about creating amazing bespoke itineraries. Creating a bespoke itinerary depends a lot on a particular client's needs. So hopefully, this general overview will inspire you and give you ideas how, together with EXO, you can create amazing LUXE for your clients. Webinar will last a total of around 30 minutes. Hopefully, I'll be able to keep you guys awake. And if you have any questions at any point about the webinar, please do feel free to type them up and post them in the questions section of your panel. And at the end of the webinar, I will go through each question one by one and answer them for you. And if you have any questions which you'd like to direct to me in an email after the webinar, then you can see my email address on this open slide. It's mia@exotravel.com, just near the bottom of it there. Please feel free to make a note of that. And if you have any questions about anything LUXE, anything EXO, LUXE related, then I would be more than happy to discuss that with you via email. So let's get things going. What am I going to be talking about during this webinar? Well, firstly, I'm going to give you a quick overview about why I believe Myanmar is a great destination for LUXE. And then we'll be looking at our top properties across our main destinations. Of course, where people sleep every night is a very important part of the entire experience for luxury clients. Then I'll be looking more at the individual activities that people can take part in while they're here. Like I already mentioned, we focus on creating bespoke itineraries. So we have lots of different insider access and unique experiences that we can put together for your clients. But I won't be talking about all of those throughout this webinar, because really it depends on one particular client, what kind of stuff they like. So what I'll be talking about is just, I'll be introducing the general luxury experiences which would slot into any LUXE programs that you're putting together for Myanmar. Then I will go through a few multi-day tour samples just to give you an idea of the kind of stuff that we can put together and what kind of clients we can do stuff for. And then I'll talk about getting around. Of course, Myanmar is a multi-destination country, so how we get around each destination varies. So I'll introduce you all to that. Then look at some of our favorite restaurants, which we think are perfect for LUXE clients. And then finally, just give you a bit more information about how LUXE by EXO works, what is LUXE by EXO, and why we think you should choose LUXE by EXO for your luxury clients. So let's get things going with the question, why choose Myanmar for luxury? Well, firstly, we have some high quality experiences and accommodation in a number of our top destinations. So luxury in Myanmar generally focuses on around 5 to 6 destinations, which I'll be going through over the course of this webinar, because that's where we find the luxury accommodation, the luxury transportation options, and of course the opportunities to create those amazing experiences for your luxury clients. However, away from the main destinations, there are also some unique untouched destinations, such as the Mergui Archipelago. And that's one destination which I will be looking at in particular here during the webinar, because I think it's absolutely perfect for luxury clients, and it offers an experience which you would struggle to get anywhere else in Southeast Asia. Myanmar doesn't have the crowds that other destinations in the region might have. And that means, we can really create exclusive experiences for LUXE clients. And it means that our insider experiences really are insider. We're not doing the same old stuff as everybody else because luxury's been around here for so much time and luxury clients are coming in all the time. They're not, which means we have this unique opportunity to create these fantastic experiences which truly give your clients insider access. And Myanmar's people and service are absolutely amazing. And as you know, that is exactly what Lux clients need. Tip-top service is right at the top of what we expect from all of our partners, and that's, you know, really what we get. So starting with our hotel partners, I'm going to give you an overview of the luxury accommodations which we recommend in our top 6 destinations throughout the country. So in Yangon, the 2 best luxury options, which some of you, if you're already selling Myanmar, will be very familiar with, the Belmond Governor's Residence and the Strand Hotel. Quite different properties. The Governor's Residence is an old 1920s teak mansion, which has now been, you know, converted into a hotel made in more of a traditional style with lush gardens and ponds in the grounds. It's a very peaceful and serene setting in a residential part of Yangon. Great place to just go and relax and really enjoy the facilities. Whereas the Strand has a very different location, different style. It's in the heart of downtown Yangon. You know, at your doorstep, you have hustling, bustling Yangon. Whereas, of course, once you're inside, it's a haven away from all that. It's an old British colonial style building, which just recently, about a year ago, had a lovely new swimming pool installed. So it really does tick all of the boxes now. And I would say that the Strand Suite at the Strand is probably the city's best room. If you have clients coming in and out of Yangon, what I like to recommend is begin the stay at the Strand, because then your clients are right in the heart of Yangon. But then when they've done the whole trip around Myanmar and they're ready just to relax and have some R&R, then the Governor's Residence is an ideal option because it really is away from it all. And now we do have another option, which I think is perfect for Lux clients as well. And this is the Yangon Excelsior Hotel, just opened up a few months ago. It's a centrally located old colonial building, which has now been refurbished to its original splendor. You know, they've kept a lot of the original traits in, like the old lift and the staircases and all that kind of thing. It used to be a building used by the Steel Brothers Company as a semi-warehouse and semi-office building. For a while, it was just unused and in disrepair. Now it's come up as this luxury hotel right in the heart of downtown again. It's a very classy, contemporary design. The furniture is very unique. There's a story throughout the hotel. And the service here is absolutely amazing. And it comes at a much lower price than both the Strand and the Governor's Residence. So it's a good option. If you have luxury clients who don't want to pay the absolute top prices, then this is the perfect option for them. Then moving up to Mandalay. The second biggest city in Myanmar, and of course one of our top destinations. Here we have the Mercure Mandalay Hill Resort, which is probably the city's top resort. It's at the foot of Mandalay Hill and it offers really beautiful panoramic views of the hill. Now don't let the name Mercure put you off. You know, the brand Mercure has different levels, different standards here in Myanmar to what you might be used to back at home. Here, Mercure does not reflect a 3-star property. It really reflects a 4-star plus property. But, you know, that's the property in general. It's a big resort. When you get to the spa villas and the spa at the back of this resort, you're really hitting high-end 5-star. And for your Lux clients, you want to book them into those spa villas at the Mandalay Hill Resort because they are absolutely stunning and would be a highlight of the entire Myanmar trip. You know, they're unique for the entire country. So that's the big resort. And then if you're looking for something a bit smaller, a bit more boutique, then the Hotel by the Red Canal is the perfect property for clients who want something boutique. They've got a nice, cute little swimming pool. It's set back in a quiet part of town, but still not far at all from the main attractions and from the Royal Palace, which really forms the center point of the city. And the Chin Suite at the Hotel by the Red Canal is your go-to room for luxury clients. And As of last year, there is also a Hilton in Mandalay. This used to be the Sedona. Management and ownership has now been taken over by the Hilton Group, and they've done a lot of work on the common areas, so the swimming pool and the lounge, lobby, restaurant. They're creating this amazing glass-covered restaurant extension overlooking the swimming pool, which is going to be absolutely amazing. The rooms have still not been touched up so much since the hotel was a Sedona, but by this time next year they should be, and this will then be a really top luxury property. Now the highlights here are the location. It's got a magnificent location overlooking the Royal Palace and this moat. The picture that you see in this slide is from one of the suites with a balcony, and you know, you're straight down, you're looking down the moat up towards Mandalay Hill, and just to the left you've got the Royal Palace. It's really a stunning view, a great place to enjoy breakfast or enjoy a nice little drink after coming back from sightseeing, whatever your luxury clients are into. And they're probably the best views in the city, so that's, you know, one of the massive selling points there at the Hilton. Moving away from Mandalay, staying in the dry zone and going to Bagan. In Bagan, we have again two main properties which we would always recommend for luxury clients, those being Bagan Lodge and the Orient Palace Resort and Spa. Both very different. Bagan Lodge has more of a contemporary design, whereas the Orient Palace is a lot more traditional, you know, wooden structures, wooden buildings. It's a bit older, which means that, you know, it is getting a bit dated, a bit worn. Maintenance is sometimes not what it could be. But here at the Orient Palace, you have the location. You have the best location in town. It's set right in the heart of the archaeological zone. On-site pagodas, rooms with amazing views, and the villa room types are really what you want to go for luxury in at the Orient. They're the top room types in the whole town. And conversely, at the Bagan Lodge, there's not such a wide range of rooms. You have the villas and the suites. Suites, in my opinion, don't offer that much more for your clients. So it really depends what they want. The villas are, you know, stunning in themselves, and you're in a quiet location here. Service is amazing. The general ambiance is really fantastic. So it depends, you know, what your clients are looking for. If they really want that super luxurious villa experience, then the Orient Palace is the place you want to go. But if they just want spick and span, clean, great quality service, then the Bagan Lodge is perfect for them. And there's a new property in Bagan as well, opened up around a year ago. It's called Heritage Bagan. And this is a traditionally designed luxury resort. It kind of has a similar feel to the Orient, but of course a bit newer, a bit more, you know, clean finish. And the top options here are the Heritage and Royal Heritage suites. In total, they have 9 suites, perfect for luxury clients. The property is located near the airport, but it's not such a bad thing. You know, Bagan doesn't have flights coming in every 10-15 minutes. You know, traffic through in and out of the airport is very slow, so you won't have any disturbance when your clients are out in the swimming pool area or anything like that. So definitely a great new property for your luxury clients who want to try something new. Then moving on to the nature, Inlay Lake. At Inlay, we have 2 different types of luxury property. We have our more traditional wooden stilted home luxury, which is the 2 resorts which you see on this slide. And then we have our more contemporary modern properties, which you'll see coming up on the next slide. So these traditional properties, the ones we recommend, are Villa Inlay Resort and Spa and the Inlay Princess. Inlay Princess is a very famous one. You probably know it. It's been around for years. They really know how to do luxury. It's set in an unspoiled natural area. And here, the Princess Suite is the best option. However, my personal favorite is the Villa Inlay Resort and Spa, mainly because of the layout of the rooms. Their villas really have amazing lake views. Inside is really spacious. It's got a beautiful layout with the bed in the middle of the room, big windows so the natural light comes pouring in. The bathroom is massive. It's really what you want to offer any luxury client. And this resort is also Travel Life certified, which signifies that they are excellent in sustainability. And this is a certificate which Exo Travel also has across a number of our countries. So we're very happy to support them, and we love the responsible tourism stuff that they're doing. And definitely it's my personal favorite traditional luxury resort on the lake. And then moving on to the more contemporary modern style resorts, we have the Sanctum Inle Resort, which opened up around 2.5 years ago, and the Sofitel, of course, part of the famous Accor group, which opened up about 6 to 7 months ago. So the Sanctum Inle, it's run by the same group which runs the new Yangon Excelsior Hotel in Yangon, of course. This is a really nice, peaceful resort, contemporary design. It's almost made in the style of a kind of Spanish monastery. The Abbey Suite here offers the best luxe experience that you could get at this resort, and the service here is absolutely amazing. Luxury clients will not be disappointed at all. The food is fantastic, the setting is fantastic. You just don't have that traditional lake environment that you do at the other two properties, but in every other way, this is the absolute, perfect property for Inle Lake. And then the Sofitel is for those luxury clients who, either they want the brand name or they want big luxury resort, because this really is a big resort. It's set over 5 acres. It's got over 100 different rooms, 2 swimming pools. One of them is this beautiful infinity pool overlooking the lake. They have this fantastic spa which overlooks the lake as well. 2 different high-end dining options, lots of opportunities for children to keep themselves occupied. And at this resort, they also have the Imperial Suite, which has a private pool right by the lake, and that's probably your top room in the whole of the Inle Lake region. So if you have a super VIP client who wants everything done to the T, then the Sofitel's Imperial Suite is the perfect option for them. Then moving to the beach, we have 2 beach destinations which I think are very suitable for luxury clients. Firstly, we have Neapoli, which is our traditional famous beach resort in the west of the country, and 2 properties here which I would recommend. Firstly, the Sandaway Resort, which is a beautiful resort set amongst the coconut palms right on the beach with beautiful vistas and beautiful sunset views. The rooms that would be ideal for luxury are their 19 villas right by the beach, very spacious, and you will have no complaints about those whatsoever. Then moving away to the Neapoli Bay Villas and Spa Resort, this is more of an intimate kind of place. Again, it's got a fantastic location on an unspoiled beach, but here you have the addition, the added value of suites with private terraces and private plunge pools. So for luxury clients that are looking for really a bit more of an intimate experience, they don't want maybe a big resort kind of feel, Neapoli Bay, perfect for them. Get them a nice suite, private terrace, private plunge pool, and they'll be very happy with that. And then moving to our newest beach destination. This is going all the way down to the south of the country, close to the border with Thailand, right in the heart of the Andaman Sea. We have the Mergui Archipelago. The Mergui Archipelago is a group of around 800 plus islands. Development here has been very slow up until recently. We were mainly selling cruise excursions around here, multi-day cruise excursions with overnight on the cruise, and then activities on different islands over the days. But now there's 2 brilliant luxury resorts which have just been set up. As you can probably tell by the images, it's still computerized images that we have here because they've literally just opened up this month and next month. So I would recommend to get the top service here, booking in here from January 2019 onwards, when they will be fully up and running, and any little teething problems will have been dealt with. So Wa'ale is probably the #1 It's barefoot luxury in a cove on an island. It's its own island. Perfect for adventure, exploring the island. It's a massive island. There's lots to do: kayaking, hiking, stand-up paddleboarding, and also, of course, the perfect place to relax. They have these treetop villas. They have villa suites, which are located on the beach, different types of accommodation. And the prices range up to around $1,000 US per night for a couple. But that includes all food. It's all inclusive, all the activities, food, drink, whatever their hearts desire. Away Pila is another beautiful exclusive resort, also on its own remote island, nowhere near Wa'ale, away from any other kind of development. And here the highlight is the suites, which have a private terrace overlooking the sea. Both of these are a 2-hour boat ride away from Koh Tao, and Koh Tao is the main town in the southern part of the Mergui archipelago, accessible from Yangon by plane. It's about a 1.5 to 2 hour flight, daily flights, so no problems at all in getting to these fantastic luxury resorts. Okay, so moving away from the accommodation and moving into what can clients actually get up to? What can luxury clients get up to have that fantastic, memorable time here in Myanmar? As I said at the beginning of my webinar, I'm not going to go into too much detail into our insider access and really unique EXO exclusive experiences, because that would be very dependent on the type of client you have. Here, I'm just going to give you a summary of our top luxe experiences, so you know what kind of things we can offer unique to Myanmar. So guests coming to Yangon, they have to try the high tea at the Strand, especially if they're not staying at the Strand. If they stay at the Strand, they would be having breakfast at the Strand Cafe anyway, so maybe they're not getting so much added value from the high tea. But if they're not staying at the Strand, you should definitely book them in for a high tea at the Strand. The colonial charm of the dining area and the whole setting, it's, really, it makes you feel like you're going back in time. Something not to be missed. Then also in Yangon, something that's not to be missed is a colonial downtown walking tour. This is something which we include for almost all of our clients across the board, be it luxury or not, who visit Yangon, because it's really one of the major attractions to explore the colonial architecture around town. However, for luxury clients, what I would recommend is to do this with a bit of a twist. So we can arrange a full-day walking tour where your clients would be accompanied by expert guides from the Yangon Heritage Trust. These guys have the best information about the architecture, about the history of these buildings, and about Yangon's heritage. And for individual cases, we can tailor-make every tour alongside Yangon Heritage Trust to really make it that little bit extra special for your clients. So please do let us know if you want your clients to take part in this tour, and if there's anything of particular interest, we can make that happen alongside our partners. Moving up to Bagan and moving up into the air, hot air ballooning over the ancient temples of Bagan. You've probably seen this iconic image of, at sunrise, of balloons flying up into the air. It's an absolutely once in a lifetime experience to see the temples from up there. And I would offer this to every luxury client that you have, because a lot of people visit Myanmar, just to do this. But of course it comes at a price, so not everyone can do it. And when it comes to the ballooning, there's a range of different options. For luxury clients, I would recommend taking up the premium option, which allows them to be in a more kind of intimate and exclusive environment upon the balloon. There'll be less other people on the balloon. When they come back down, they have a full champagne breakfast, and overall the experience is a more luxury one than the classic version of the ballooning tour. So do keep that in mind and let us know if you'd like to have that premium option booked. And ballooning, just to mention, is also available in our other destinations like Inle Lake, Mandalay, and Nepali. So depending on what kind of environment they'd be interested in checking out, your luxury clients can have a very different view from the balloon in different places around the country. I'm moving to Inle Lake. So Inle Lake is located in Shan State. And for me, Shan State offers the best of all the food in Myanmar. And that's why our luxury experiences on Inle Lake focus quite often on the culinary side of life. So this first option is a floating lunch on the lake. And I absolutely love this. It's a really, really unique experience, this. It involves 3 different boats. You can even say 4 different boats if you're including the transfer boat that the clients use to get to the collection of 3 boats. So the guests would be seated on the dining boat, which you can see here in the image, you know, shaded, very comfortable seating, very nicely done. And the other 2 boats, one of them is the cooking boat. So all the food for this experience is made freshly on that boat. It's a private experience. Everything is made to order. You know, none of this pre-cooked food stuff, you know, everything's nice and fresh. And then they have a small rowing boat, which is used to ferry between the dining boat and the cooking boat to serve food nice and fresh, nice and hot, and, you know, without creating any noise pollution. So just coming along in a rowing boat, you get your glass of wine, you get your tomato salad, or, you know, whatever local food you're eating. For this experience, the local wine is usually included, but we can, of course, upscale that, add in some champagne, add in some high quality international wine, whatever you need us to do. This can be tailor-made completely. Then moving on to another culinary experience on Inle Lake. We call it cooking with cats. You know, that attracts people's attention, but don't worry, there's no cat cooking happening on this tour. This is all about a hands-on cooking class at the Inta Heritage House, which is also home to the famous Burmese cat sanctuary, which is why we call it cooking with cats, because, you know, there's cats on the same compound. So this involves riding out on a boat into the middle of the lake to a stilted house and participating in the most high-end cooking class that we have here in Myanmar. You know, it's a lot of people travel for food and they want to cook the food themselves. And for people, for luxury clients that want to do that in Myanmar, this is our #1 recommendation, this cooking class at the Inta Heritage House. And we can privatize this, you know, have special ingredients picked from the organic garden. Your guests can even go out into their floating garden to pick the ingredients which they want and want to go and cook. So a really fun experience. And it's also a vocational training center, which means that all the money that's spent, all the work that these guys are doing is being used to benefit disadvantaged young people around the Inle Lake region. And we love supporting ventures and projects like that. Okay, so that was just a glimpse, you know, into some of the experiences that we can offer. But, you know, like I said, there's so much more that we can offer. So if you, for your individual inquiries, we'd be really happy to discuss those in more detail and see what we can put together for your very special clients. Now moving on to some sample multi-day luxury tours, just to give you an idea of the kind of stuff we can put together. Honeymooning in Myanmar is, for me, I mean, I'm not married myself, unfortunately, but I think honeymooning in Myanmar would be a fantastic thing to do, because you're not really going to be surrounded by other couples everywhere. Now, who wants to go on a honeymoon and just see other couples being lovey-dovey all around them? No, you want to be on your honeymoon and you want to have space to yourself. You really want to enjoy the moment. And here in Myanmar, it's a perfect place for that. Hotels offer amazing experiences for couples as well, and we can create special things in clients' rooms and during their meals at the hotels. And they can have a blessed beginning to the journey of life together with a unique monk's blessing ceremony, which we can organize at monasteries around the country or anything like that, depending on, you know, the interest in that kind of thing. Then food. I mentioned food already. A lot of people travel for food. But Myanmar is not famous for its food. You know, Vietnam, Thailand, everyone talks about how amazing the food is. But how often do you hear someone say, oh, have you heard about that new Burmese restaurant in town? It's absolutely amazing. But, you know, the food here is really outstanding, in my opinion. We have some amazing culinary experiences throughout the country, and I've already referred to a few of them. You know, high tea at the luxury hotel, a floating lunch on the lake, learning to cook on the lake. We have a restaurant in Yangon with a Michelin star chef who does European food with a bit of a Myanmar twist. So, you know, we can put together some fantastic culinary tours. And each different region of Myanmar is so diverse, and that includes the food that they have. So you're not going to be having the same kind of food throughout the trip. It'll be different at every location, every destination visited. So definitely a foodie's delight here in Myanmar. So if you do have any Myanmar cuisine restaurants opening up wherever you live, I would definitely recommend checking it out and trying something new. Exclusive escapes to Paradise Beach. I talked about Wa'ale Island Resort already, and this is the most exclusive escape we can offer, and something which would rival the exclusive escapes available in other parts of Southeast Asia. You know, here you get luxury accommodation in a choice of villas right on the beach on this private island in the undiscovered Mergui archipelago. You're not going to have boats, you know, riding around, coming in for day trips, stopping off, or anything like that. You know, nobody's coming out here. It's still very much unexplored. So the resort, the island, will be just for your guests and other guests, of course, staying at the resort. They have amazing food. F&B is something they put a lot of impetus on. So the food during the stay will be amazing. We recommend 4 to 5 day, 3 to 4 night stays here. It's only 2 hours from the mainland, which is accessible by plane from Yangon. And we also really love it because we believe it's a true ecotourism project. Funds that are paid by clients go towards community development and environmental conservation projects in this remote part of Myanmar, where often, you know, these projects don't really get to have much of an impact. So it's a great example of how luxury tourism can really be responsible tourism and something which benefits the local people and the place. And that is something which we absolutely want to support. Then staying in the Mergui archipelago, which is also known as the Miek archipelago, hence the name that you see on the right of the screen in the image. Sailing around the islands of the archipelago is another way to experience them. So there's 2 ways to experience the archipelago. You can either stay at one of these luxury resorts on an island, or you can go on a luxury sailing cruise around the islands. And you stop off every day for water-based activities, and at night, and also during the daytime to relax, you're on this luxury sailboat. And it really is an amazing experience there. The sailboat is stunning. You know, you can charter it to have it just privatized for your clients, and it's a great way to see a wider range of islands around the archipelago. I've done both experiences, you know, staying on an island and going around cruising the islands. So if you're not sure which one would be best, then please drop me a line and I'd be happy to discuss that with you so we can see what would be best for the type of client that you're selling to. And luxury without the crowds. I think green season luxury is a fantastic opportunity here in Myanmar. Traveling during that season allows you to create a top-notch luxury program at, you know, pretty much regular prices. You can avoid the crowds for an even more exclusive and intimate experience, which is what luxury guests are really looking for. And when it does rain a little bit, which of course it does during the green season, then clients can take the time to enjoy the luxury accommodation, which, you know, they've spent so much money to stay at. So why not spend some time to actually take advantage of that? So do think about green season luxury here in Myanmar as well. It's a really good opportunity in my opinion. Okay, so we've talked about the destinations and what can you do and where can you stay, but how can you get around? I really believe that, you know, traveling is not just about the destination, but it's about the journey. And that's why these unique ways of getting around in style really add to the experience here in Myanmar. So in Yangon, I absolutely love the elephant coach. You see a picture of it here on the screen. It's a beautifully restored colonial era bus. When you jump on board, it's spacious, it's luxury, leather seating, there's drinks served on board. You really feel like you're going back in time and going around in the, whatever it might be, 40s, 30s in Yangon. It's a great way to spend a half day or a full day doing the traditional, the classic Yangon sightseeing, but with a really cool twist. Highly recommended. And you won't see many of these around. So it's not as if your clients are going to be in one of these and in the traffic jam next to them, there'll be another one. No chance. It'll be a very exclusive experience. Then moving to Mandalay, luxury river cruising on the Irrawaddy is the #1 thing to do. Our recommended cruises are the Sanctuary Ananda, Heritage Line, and the Strand, which are the top 3 luxury cruises operating between Mandalay and Bagan. They do from 2-night to 3-night, 4-night, 7-night cruises as well. You know, river cruising is booming in other parts of the world. It's really been booming in Europe. And now we see Myanmar as a top destination for this. There's some beautiful boats. The scenery is absolutely stunning. And, you know, you can do this cruise between 2 of the top destinations that we have. So, you know, every box is ticked. So I would highly recommend for any luxury client that you have, please ask about the luxury cruising, because you would not regret it. The service on board, the food, the rooms, the quality of everything is, you know, it's a step above the rest. Then moving to Bagan, a not to be missed experience there for me is a horse cart ride at sunset around the temples. And the best way to do that for a luxury client is on a royal horse cart, which is a kind of souped up, classy version of the normal horse cart. A little bit more comfortable, less bumpy, bit more shaded, generally nicer experience for luxe clients. And then Inle Lake, I would strongly recommend choosing the luxury alternative to the traditional boats that tourists use on the lake. Indevi Boats is our partner offering this luxury boating experience. You know, the size of the boat is the same as the traditional boat. However, there's more modern furnishings. The boat is more modern. There's less noise, about 50 to 60% less noise because of small changes they've made to the engine, technical changes, and a kind of muffler system which they put around it. And there's less pollution as well. So really 100% recommend this for your luxury clients who are traveling around Inle Lake. Then restaurants, where can luxury clients eat? Of course, all of the top hotels also have top dining options. So I'm not going to be looking so much at what the hotels have to offer, but more what can be done outside of the hotels. Having said that, the first one you see there for Yangon is the Strand. And the reason for this is its high-end dining restaurant is worth visiting, even if your clients are not staying at the Strand. They do this really amazing dinner experience where you kind of tell the chef, what do you like and what do you not like? And you just get given a blind testing menu. And the chef is very talented and he puts together some delicious things on that menu. Then we have Seeds and Le Planteur, which are luxury fine dining restaurants set on Inya Lake, which is in Yangon, not to be confused with Inle Lake, which is obviously up north, but Inya Lake, which is a much smaller lake in the heart of Yangon. And then Ong or Orange, whatever you want to call it, is another fine dining restaurant in town. And Shui Sabwe, which is one of my personal favorites, it's set in an old colonial home in the north of Yangon, and they work as a vocational training restaurant. So they have a 1-year training program. They work with underprivileged and disadvantaged youths from around the country. They provide them training in fine dining service and fine dining restaurant quality. And then after their 1-year traineeship, they go on and help them find work around the country. So a really nice initiative there and really nice food as well. Then in Mandalay, Bistro 82 is the best fine dining option outside of the hotels. And then there's the Spice Garden as well, which is part of the hotel by the Red Canal. But again, similar to the Strand Hotel, it's worth visiting even for guests not staying there. Then in Bagan, most luxury dining options in Bagan are in the hotels. The one outside the hotel, which I would highly recommend, is Sanon, which serves Myanmar food with a bit of a really interesting European twist. And they serve like Myanmar tapas almost. This one also, similar to Shui Subway, functions as a training restaurant. As it says on their sign, they're changing lives, building a future for Myanmar youth. Again, something that we really want to support, but also they provide amazing food and a great service quality. So everything comes together there. On Inlay Lake, Inta Heritage House, which is where we can run the luxury cooking class, also has the best restaurant on the lake outside of the hotels. So I would highly recommend including a lunch at Inta Heritage House, especially if your clients are not doing the cooking class, then they should definitely have a lunch at least at the Inta Heritage House. And then Viewpoint Eco Lodge and the Little Eco Lodge, both located in Niang Shui, which is the gateway town to Inlay Lake, have amazing vistas over the surrounding hills and beautiful settings and amazing food as well. So a very nice place to enjoy a meal nearby, Inlay Lake. So that brings me to the end of the introduction that I wanted to give you about LUXE product in Myanmar. And my final slide is focusing on why I think and why we think you should use LUXE by EXO. So here at EXO, we really aim to redefine exclusive luxury travel in Asia. And how do we do this? Well, we have specialized LUXE and product teams who have been trained specifically in order to exceed the already high expectations that we know luxury clients have. So like I said, here in Myanmar, the product team, which is myself and my team of 3 colleagues, we are responsible for going out and finding these amazing new luxury experiences. And then we have our colleagues in the LUXE department, which is managed by Nguyen, whose photo you see on the left. And that team really knows how to deal with each individual inquiry down to the last minute detail. So she leads a group of 6 to 7 consultants working across all languages, and they directly deal with every luxury request. And they know exactly what luxury means, and they know the right questions to ask. They know what kind of expectations you have, and we will tailor-make every itinerary to your clients' desires by adding the kind of EXO exclusives, which I referred to earlier, you know, these small little changes that we can make to itinerary to make them really personal. We want to personalize every trip, and that's why we know that it's not just about the trip itself, but it's very much about the process of creating and putting this trip together. So we have trained our teams on, you know, what kind of things that process requires to make sure that they're offering these EXO exclusives that are only available to LUXE by EXO clients. So, you know, we're ready to put together these amazing, unique itineraries for you. So please get in touch and let's start the conversation about your LUXE by EXO tours. So that's it from me. Thank you very much for listening. There's another reminder of my email address. If you have any questions about anything LUXE or anything EXO related, please do feel free to drop me a line on amir@exotravel.com. Our next webinar will be on the 29th of November, 2018. So just under a month away. And like it or not, it's going to be my voice again, which you'll be hopefully hearing if you join us during that webinar. And I'll be talking about Myanmar's best kept secrets. So you'll be learning more about what unique activities and experiences do we have here in Myanmar to make your clients' holiday that much more amazing. Thank you very much to everybody for listening in.